Hi again. We are still looking to the global gender gender gap report. I would like to look to um, a few graphs that are actually in a subchapter, future of gender parity, and you can see some labor market variables. These are for the professional jobs, how women and men are shared globally, especially when you see cloud computing, data AI, engineering, product development, even sales, you see that men dominate uh, these jobs more. Although in sales, it's got closer to average, basically. Um, in engineering, especially, and cloud computing, I mean, you see the ratio is very low. Um, The average is for the professionals and technical skills actually 49%, which is maybe which is very close to the actual equal value. Um, People and culture, I mean, and content production on this sense, I mean, directly communicating with the people. Um, Here you can see that female roles are relatively higher. Um, so um, well, I could not find exact definition of people and culture, but you might think that I mean communicating with people to create maybe the uh, content of um, professional in professional jobs and dealing with different cultures. I don't know, maybe in the workplace, maybe actually even a supplement for sales and marketing. That would be my guess. And since I mean, you see that at the content production, females' participation is also higher. It might be very possible. I mean, while producing this content, um, the connection, the supplementary role of connecting with the people might also be given mostly to the woman. Um, when we go down, these are country level data, uh, but they have chosen certain countries, and these are skills. Women are better at the soft skills, um, although in all skills men have are more skilled in terms of getting education and trainings. Probably and that's another problem. I mean, even inside of the company, women might not get as much training as men. And in terms of technology, female workers have much less skills, basically. So these are the graphs of this, I mean, this section on the, I mean, female male inequality in skilled jobs, and in my opinion, it's an interesting, very interesting part. Read it, if you're interested, read it, and actually you will get more information on that also while you read it. It's certainly worth reading, in my opinion. Let's go. These are technical details of where they got data, the way they calculate the variables, which if you are dealing with the index, for example, for a term project or a thesis or paper, you should read these things to know what you are dealing with. And now we can look to the country profiles. So, a typical country profile, for example, Albania is the first one. Let's try to look to Turkey. And then we might look some countries maybe that might interest you. T is at the very bottom, I guess. Tajikistan, Tanzania, Thailand, Togo, Trinidad, Tobago, Tunisia, Turkey. Yes. Well, this section is especially interesting. I mean, it is you have a rank and score. Score is again this gender inequality score, and you see how Turkey is doing in terms of the um, specific indicators. For example, in health and survival, it has gone down. The index has actually gone up, but in terms of ranking, we have gone down. Also, I mean, actually, in all indexes, we have gone down, it seems. Uh, Although the index has been better also in all cases, still in political empowerment, we are at the very bottom. At economic participation and opportunity, we are also below average, I believe. Um, okay. So you see how for the specific indicators Turkey is behaving. For example, labor force participation rate, female is very low, 37.5%. This is a major problem of Turkey. And male 78%, and that makes labor force participation rate ratio 48%. It creates a very large disparity. The top positions, 14% of them are filled by women, 85% are filled by men. This also creates a very large, largest disparity here. And in terms of skilled jobs, actually the percentage is relatively, this is where women are better in terms of economic participation. It's 40% to 59%, and inequality is at 76%. Sex ratio at birth, well, we have no problem there. That's the missing children case. This is natural number, by the way. Political empowerment, you see, that's also where Turkey is doing very bad. Women in parliament. Recently, we are better off in this case. Actually, it's still only 17%, 70.5% of the parliament positions are filled by women. And years with female and male head of state, we have only 2.7 to 47.3 out of 50 years. And that's the prime ministership of the Tansu basically. And here, and that's more interesting, you see more detail actually. For example, population growth rate ratios, total population, unemployment adults, male and female, workers employed part-time, male and female, firms with top managers, again, male, female. Only 3.9% of the firms have, for example, female managers. Civil and political freedom, for example, no, yes. Electionless quotas for men, no, we don't have. Party membership quotas, voluntary quotas, yes. In some cases, the parties put some quotas for the women, female candidates in election. Family and, for example, women's unmet demand of family planning, for example, length of maternity and paternity leave, the leave after you have a child, 16 weeks for female, 1 week for the male. And that's also inequality, interestingly. Well, we will discuss this in detail, but it is considered as an inequality, and it's also something that is actually forcing women to look after the children, because state, even if men want to look after their children, the structure of the economic system doesn't allow them to do so. And that's one of the interesting, actually, discussions, the maternity and paternity leaves. Educational skills, STEM's attainment, art and humanities, business. You can see different attainments at different levels, basically. Percentage attainment. The highest is business, basically, law and administration, both for men and female, interestingly. But in the one where women are attaining relatively more is art and humanities, 1.75, basically. And the one with male attendance, where male attendance is relatively higher, is engineering, manufacturing, and construction, basically, perhaps not surprisingly. In PhD, interestingly, that's academia, the ratio is, well, 3.4 to 51, almost 50. So 67, 33%. I mean, you have 2 female academicians for every 3 male academicians. And health, maternal mortality per 10,000, 100,000 life births, 17. Prevalence and gender violence in lifetime. Law permits abortion, preserve women's health. Birth attended by skilled personnel, 98%. Attention care at least 4 visits. Unilateral care, that's also high. So that's Turkey. You can see other countries, just pick one. For example, let's pick Norway, maybe. Norway might be an interesting country. And then you might think also a Middle Eastern country, or maybe we can pick India. Netherlands. It should be somewhere here. Norway. For some reason I can't find it. It's interesting. Oh, yeah. Well, this is very good at many. The second in the overall gender index. And especially at the political attainment, it is very good, and that makes it its position very high, since standard deviation makes this as the most important variable. And you can see here, I mean, again, the worst thing they have is legislators, senior official, I mean, upper positions are not attainable for the men. I mean, for all 100 positions, 35 is attained by women, 64 is attained by men. Healthy life expectancy, interesting here, actually. Now women are doing better than men. This is, and in some cases you can see this also in other places. Political empowerment, again, for example, there for the last 50 years, 15.8 years they were headed by a female head of state, and women in parliament, again, 48% are women, 59% are much higher than Turkey. Okay, So these are some. Maybe we will look to one more country in the next part. So see you then.